right, guys, so once again, it's been a while since I made a video because I've just been so busy moving into my new house and all that goes along with that. So, but today I'm actually getting back on the car a little bit. When I left you guys last time, we got the motor installed. This is the head gasket here. I have it just sitting there just to kind of protect the pistons, and got a lot of the front pieces all painted up and looking really good. So we're all ready to go here. So I wanted to start working on the merge collector. So this is like my first time ever attempting anything like this, and it's been a little bit interesting. So what I did do was I picked up off of eBay for like $35. I picked up this, turn the light on here. I picked up this little 3D printed jig, okay? It was like 35 bucks, and it's for 1.25 inch, 20 degree, 6-to-1 collector, 5-to-1, and you go off of these little marks here. I'll kind of explain how it works, and then I'll explain to you guys what exactly I did. I actually modified it. I changed it a little bit because I didn't like the splay angle of the merge, okay? So pretty much what you do is you take your tube, you get your pieces that are, you know, whatever length you want, and you put a mark on them, okay? So you just take your raw piece of tube and you go ahead and mark it. It doesn't matter where. You just make a mark on it, okay? And then you basically line it up with the number 1. Okay, you got number 1 here. You line it up with that. So you're gonna insert it in here, line it up with number 1. Okay, it has a little bolt that you can tighten up. This jig is not for someone who's doing this for like a living. I recommend this if you're doing like one time, because it is 3D printed. It's not very good quality. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, 3D printed stuff, is the technology with that is not that great at the moment. So anyway, you go ahead and you mount it in there and you put it on the number 1, like we have it here. This is tough to do with one hand. And then once you have it there, you can mount it in your band saw, okay? Whatever you want to do. Or you can mark it, which is what I did. I marked them, okay, with my Sharpie. I just went around and marked it, and then I cut it out on my own. Pretty much what I did was, I'll go ahead and mount one of these in here. So anyway, what I did was I mounted my part in there, and then I used my regular bandsaw to get me close to where I want it to be. And all I did was follow the line, okay? Just carefully, I went and followed the line and was able to cut off all of my pieces, okay? To get the cuts I need, okay? And then, as you can see, I have this marked here. You loosen it up, spin it to the 6, because we're doing the 6-to-1, so you put it on the 6 and then repeat the process. Okay, if I was doing a 4-to-1 collector, I would move it to 4, and that would give me the correct angle for a 4-to-1 collector. Okay, so the only other thing is you want to make sure that your depth is always the same. So I did it to where I knew my depth was going to stop right here. Okay, so now as far as this jig goes, this 3D printed jig, I guess you'd call it, this was 20 degrees, meaning that this was actually more like this, meaning that when the collector goes together, it would have been more like this. Okay, so I wanted it, from the research I've done, a lot of people do between 10 and 15 degrees. So I changed it to 15 degrees. And what I did was I put it in my mill, and I milled it to where I took about 5 degrees off of this, okay? And 3D printed is like, it's all like hollow. Like there's nothing there's not a lot of structure there, okay? So I kind of messed the jig up a little bit. So I had to add some epoxy here to add some strength to it. So I figured, you know, like for me, this is a one-time thing. I don't plan on making collectors for a living. I don't plan on doing any kind of fabrication for a living. This was just something I wanted to try, and you know, for the price, $35, I thought, you know, I could give it a try. And it does work. I mean, look, you know, I've actually kind of mocked it up, and it does work. They all come together and it looks really good. But you know, me cutting it freehand on my little bandsaw I have over there, it's a little rough. So I've been sanding it. I just have a little belt sander, like a handheld belt sander, and I'm just kind of cleaning them up. So this one you can see here, I've cleaned up pretty good. I still have a little bit to go here. You know, if you mark it with a Sharpie, you can see where your high and your low spots are. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep going on sanding all these and getting them looking real good. And then I'll come back and we'll put it together. And then if it looks good, you know, we can go ahead and tack it. And all right, guys, so I don't hate the way it turned out. Obviously, this is a lot smaller than what we're gonna need. So what you do is you cut it off to wherever, you know, whatever your V-band size is. So I don't have that yet. I don't have the V-band that's gonna go on there. So there's another option we can do, and that would be to put a elbow on here, okay? Like a 2.5 inch, 3.5 inch elbow, or 90, mount the turbo, say off to the side, have the collector kind of aiming this way. This thing is really hot. Put these gloves on. So in other words, if the collector would be aiming, say, this way, and then you have an elbow coming up and the turbo would be mounted up here, and this, it's hard to do, but in this area here, so that you can get really good wastegate placement. So, you know, you would come off this way with the elbow, and then the wastegate would be coming straight out. That's another option as well. So, because hooking this to a V-band, the way this sits, it honestly doesn't give you a lot of options for wastegate. So, I mean, there's ways to do it, obviously. When we'll cut a big hole or whatever and have the wastegate coming out there, but I don't know. There's plenty of options to do. I just kind of wanted to work on this collector to see if I can get this going. And, you know, it came out pretty good. There are some gaps I'm going to have to fill. Obviously, I didn't do that great, but I think I can fill those gaps. And honestly, I did use this jig, and I'm gonna have to say I don't necessarily recommend it because I had to sand quite a bit. The gaps were just too wide. How do I say it? The angles weren't right. Okay, even though I followed the marks on here, when I put it together, I actually had to narrow it a little bit more where it joins in the middle. Okay, so you can kind of see where it comes to a point in there. I had to narrow it on all the pieces. So, I mean, maybe it was me, maybe it's just not that precise, because, these are big marks, and I guess you could probably mess it up. And then another thing I noticed with this jig is that, let me see if I can show y'all. Another reason I don't recommend it is when you put it on, okay, so let's say you have it on your pipe like this. When you tighten it down, even when you tighten it a little bit, it pushes it away from the edge here. So that little bit, it changes the angle quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, it's just plastic. It's not that precise. So right there, you can see the big gap down in there. So, I mean, it did help me get to where I needed to, close. It did help me get close to where I needed to be. But I mean, I probably spent another hour and a half of sanding and trying to get it to fit right. So, but here you go, 6-to-1 collector. This is 1.25" schedule 10 stainless, and I'm going to be using stainless filler rod. I use this 370. This is it right here, ER308L. ER308L. That's the stainless rod I use, and hopefully I can get those gaps filled. I mean, that's the only thing that is not that great, but I don't know, it came out pretty decent. So anyway, yeah, what I'll do is I'll do some more research on turbos, because I'm not going to be using the 62 millimeter or 64 millimeter turbo I have. I'm going to be getting a bigger turbo, and we're going to be getting it with a V-band. So I'm looking at the Precision. It's like I forget what it's, 76, 75 or something like that, and get that with the V-band. And that's like a 1200 horsepower turbo. So that should be good enough for us. It should keep us in the efficiency range, because with this turbo was designed for around 750 horse. So we'd be right at the top of its efficiency range. So that turbo's not gonna work. I'll just sell it, get some money back out of it, and put it towards the new one. So, but yeah, I'll get this welded up. I'm not gonna show all that. My welding is not great, so it wouldn't be educational to watch me weld this collector up, but I just wanted to show getting it together and kind of do a little review on this jig here. Like I said, if you got time and you want to do 1 or 2 collectors, I mean, yeah, 35 bucks, you can't go wrong. It's really not that expensive. Or you could buy a pre-made collector. I know they sell them for about 250 bucks, but I don't know. I probably have between the jig and the stainless steel tubing, I probably have $45 in the whole thing, compared to 250 to buy one that's already built. So anyway, I just want to show that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned something. I know I've learned, and I really like doing stuff like that, figuring out myself and just giving it a try. I'm not wasting a lot of money giving it a try, so you learn a lot doing that. But anyway, that's gonna do it. Check y'all later.